Welcome back to the House of Cards. Thank you for joining us. You are in store for another awesome video, and today we are back with our Monday mailbag. Yes, it is another day that we share all of last week's recaps of what came through the mail. Take a look at some, high-end to low-end, football to UFC, you name it. There's a little bit of something for everyone in these mailbags. Also, if you've yet to subscribe, I'd be awesome and amazing if you could do that. Follow this channel. We put out lots of great content, everything from sports card show recaps to mailbags to, set reviews, box breaks, you name it. We do it all here. And also, if you do like the video at the end, hit the like button. That means a lot. It lets me know that these videos are being enjoyed and to continue to, make sure that I'm making content that people like. All right, guys. Well, we won't spend too much more time yipping and yapping. We'll jump right into the mailbag. I hope you enjoy it. See you on the other side. Peace. All right. Jump in here. A weird one. It's very full from top to bottom, which is odd. Seeing as cards are only 3.5 inches wide. Okay, just a lot of bubble wrap. Well, I can see what this one is. Nothing you guys haven't seen before. Another Jared Kelenic Bowman first refractor. He's starting to have some good at-bats here. Of course, it's the end of the season where, may or may not even matter. But I'm planning on next season as being his breakout. So trying to get him while he's still cheap, fairly cheap now, and hopefully next season he comes out and proves to be the player we all think he can be. Giving him I think he just needs a full season, because this year we brought him up partially into the season and then, sent him back down and brought him back up. And so, it's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster, but I think, you get a full slate of games under you for an entire season, you're going to see the real, abilities. Okay, so this is a 2005 Topps Chrome Tom Brady. So this is just the base. There's nothing crazy about this, not like a refractor or anything, which would be awesome if it was. But even base cards right now for Brady are fetching a pretty penny, especially the older cards, because 2005, so it's 4th, 5th season, so it's pretty it's a pretty early card. And of course, Topps Chrome always carries a premium. The 2002 Topps Chromes go for crazy money. Even the 2003 Topps Chromes go for really good money. So 4 and 5, will fetch a decent penny if you get it in a good grade. So centering, of course, always the issue on these. Check your, two sides there. And then surface. Surface is usually beat the hell on these scratch-wise. So, I mean, the odds of getting one without any scratches is pretty much next to impossible. But, I try to ask and see. But actually, this one's looking pretty sharp. That's cool. So yeah, very nice. And again, base cards, I know they get their bad rap and everything else, but like I've said in other videos, if you have base cards that are from truly, sets that really didn't have much, printed in the sense of, compared to nowadays where you're gonna get, 20,000 Zions or whatever, I bet you, looking up pop reports for a card like this, not many people graded these cards because it was a 4th-year Tom Brady when, it came out and people were like, he was just kind of starting to, win and really kind of become the Brady now. So I bet you if I look, the pop report is going to be fairly low on this. So I'm going to pop it up on the screen here since I'm talking about it. But what I'll do is, just consider this a gradable card, just like his other Topps Chrome early cards carry a lot of value. So why not? As long as it's in, good shape and can get it graded for a decent price. I wouldn't go pay $150 to grade it with PSA right now, but maybe in the interim it could go to SGC, which I think would look good with the white border, or you just could wait till PSA opens up to lower service levels. So anyways, speaking of another card that a base card that's probably good to get graded are these early 2014 Prism Soccer World Cup cards, because again, this set, while it's Prism, and Prism's usually printed to the moon, soccer was not a hot commodity at this point. But this was the very first Prism soccer set, so there's definitely some of that kind of first of anything, right? Does have some sort of you know, eccentric value, I guess. You know, not to everybody, but to some collectors, you know, the first Prism of whatever is sometimes valuable. So anyways, that's kind of where, you know, I think these gained a lot of early value, was because, you know, people were looking at it like basketball, you know, where the first Prism cards were going nutty, so they go, oh well, that should be the same thing for soccer then, right? So yeah, but anyways, it's a nice looking card, looks in pretty good shape. It's a smidge off center, you can tell by the size of those 2 blocks down there at the bottom, but not too bad. I mean, it could potentially still be within tolerance. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit closer to 60-40, but we'll see. I'm gonna stick this in a fresh sleeve because the other sleeve was a little banged up. But yeah, nice looking Ronaldo first Prism, nothing special, just the base. But still, I mean, you get these in a high grade, they still fetch, you know, a decent penny. So it's always worth, you know, grabbing, like I said, base cards that have some sort of low population, and definitely, you know, from early sets or from really popular sets too. Just make sure you're not buying a bunch of like weird one-offs, you know, sets that were only around for like a year or two, and you know, you're not going to get as much value out of those base cards. All right, looks like we got a graded card here. Let's see what we got in here. Very cool. All right, so I saw this one on eBay, and it was a pretty good price for what it was, because these World Cup cards, this is 2006 World Cup, they go for, you know, raw, you know, anywhere between, you know, $300 to $500 for the Messi and the Ronaldo. So I saw this for basically the same price as a raw, but I mean, look at the subgrades. You got 10 centering, 9 edges, you got an 8.5 on corners and an 8 on the surface. So what that's telling me is there might be a slight surface scratch or something. And then the corners, I mean, okay, I mean, I do see one corner that's a little funky right there, but I mean, that's it really. Card looks pretty good to me, but I mean, I thought the subgrades were pretty strong, so I said, you know, I'll go ahead and take a gamble on this. And again, the same price as a raw copy, so you know, you think about the fact that you can get something graded nowadays for the same price as raw is kind of crazy, because how expensive it is to grade right now. I would just rather get a 8.5 graded than buy something raw. I mean, granted, you still have the chance, I guess, of getting a high grade if it's raw, but yeah, you know, I mean, it's always a dice roll. You never know. You know, a lot of the times, you know, your super clean copies have already been picked over, so you're kind of hoping that you get a 9, right, for the most part. And you know, if you get a 9, then great, you know, but it's only half a point higher than what that one is, you know, raw. So I don't know, you got to just kind of make those internal decisions when you're buying, you know, graded cards versus raw cards, because I typically like to grade, but you know, sometimes where it just makes a lot more sense to get the graded copy already, you know, just go that route, because it saves you a lot of headache and time and money, and hoping that it comes back in good condition and it doesn't take a year, and all those things. Sometimes graded is the way to go, even if you are a grading connoisseur. All right, cool. So this, again, more early Brady stuff. I've been, you know, as I see them come up at good price. I mean, trust me, these things half the time are astronomically priced now. They've all just gone up so much. So I don't jump into just any. I really pick and choose and wait for the ones that kind of end up becoming good deals before I pull the trigger on any Brady right now, because again, a lot of people are overpaying right now for stuff that could potentially have a pullback here. Not saying he's not the GOAT or anything like that, but just saying, you know, when anything rises as fast as it's risen price-wise, I mean, there's a good chance it's going to come down. So don't get caught, you know, the old saying, don't get caught holding the bag, right? But I think right now, you know, if you get the opportunity to buy a Brady like this, you know, this is a Bowman Best. So, you know, good solid set. It's not like some weird, you know, one-off set. Bowman Best. You know, you're talking about, you know, the 2000. What year is this? Sorry, I can't see it. I think it's 04. Let me just, let's see if I can pull this off. Yeah, let me just take it out. So, yeah, 2004 Bowman Best Brady. So again, nothing crazy exciting here, but super early Brady. You know, it looks nice. It's got that refractor sort of finish to it. You know, nice. Just kind of got a little shine, a little sparkle. I think you know, you get something like that slabbed, I think that'd be a lot of people that would be interested in that card. So that's kind of how I, you know, like judge things like that, is like, you know, as a dealer, you know, when I'm buying things to, you know, quote unquote resell or, you know, get graded or whatever, like I'm always thinking about like, well, what are the, would somebody like this, you know? And I think that's how I have to use my sort of judgment on cards like that, is like, if I got that card and I got it slabbed, let's say it came back a PSA 9 or whatever company 9, you know, is that something that I think someone would be interested in buying, and would the margin be there for me, you know, after I graded it, and how much I've spent raw? You know, you just got to do that little formula in your head. But, you know, it can't just be like, oh yeah, the value is there, because again, it still has to be something people would want. You know, there's got to be a buyer for it, right? Just because you get something graded and you know, blah blah blah, and it, you know, it has a comp or whatever, it doesn't mean that, you know, that's just like something that anyone and everyone's going to want. So you want to stick to things that are going to be more sought after, right? More, has a bigger kind of collector base than just like, you know, some crazy one-off card that like maybe only like a handful of people in the whole world would actually want. So again, it takes a little bit of knowledge and keeping up with the trends in the market and what's going on and what people are buying and so on and so forth. Sorry, this is a crazy package here. Really well packed, so I'm not complaining, but it's like, who's got a bunch of like styrofoam popcorn laying around? This guy, I guess. There's your answer. All right, let's dig into this. I know sometimes I get a little long-winded on talking on this, but you know, I think it's good too to fill time when I'm trying to open these packages up, because a lot of the times they are all kinds of crazy. Oh my gosh. It's the Chinese doll, or the Russian doll, whatever the doll is. That there's another one inside of another one. I guess the Russian doll. All right, it's a graded card. I don't know why there's like a whole like note in here. We'll put that to the side. All right, very cool. Beautiful card. I was working with this seller for a while to try to get this locked in, but what a beautiful John Morant Prism 1920, the orange ice. So it's not numbered or anything like that. It's just a you know, parallel without number, but still, I mean, look at these subs. It looked really good. 9.5 centering, which is always a problem with these. You know, 10 corners, 9.5 edges. You know, the surface is a 9, but you know, there's probably a very, very light surface scratch somewhere. So again, this could be something that maybe it could cross over if I ever wanted to, depending what the surface issue is. I don't know if it's anything, like if it's something super significant or if it's just like a little light scratch on the front, but could be something to cross over to PSA at one point. But jaw, I'm super bullish on. I've been picking up a lot of jaw recently. This seller, you know, gave me a really good deal. He basically matched, you know, the most recent comp. It was about $25 off of what the price he had it listed for. So I think it's really great that, you know, to get a deal done for something like this, because I do think jaw's gonna have a lot of upside this season, because I think he's going to be amazing like he was last year. So happy to have that. All right, let's start here. Whoa, what is that? Okay. The joy of receiving random packages in the mail. I really don't know where to start here. They taped a bunch of filler cards with masking tape outside of a plastic box. Pretty sure that plastic box would have been adequate. You didn't need to put filler cards covered by masking tape on the outside. Alright, I don't even know why I'm trying to like be careful with this. It's not like these cards are going to be in any kind of condition. Pop that. All right. It's like, really? Like, this is what you do? Why even put the filler cards if you're just gonna do that? I mean, it's a rookie card, man. AJ Poop. Anyways, All right, now there's more tape to get through. Awesome. Jeez, so just take away this person's right to use masking tape. Alright. Sorry guys, I know sometimes this takes a long time to get all the packaging done, but I kind of also feel like sometimes this is the entertainment value of watching these mail days, because you get this, you get to see how silly some of these packages arrive, and hopefully you learn a lesson and don't do this to people you're sending your packages to. Take it as a learning opportunity. What not to do when you're mailing your sports cards. I should just do like a whole segment on that. I should like clip out all the you know, the B-roll of all the like the worst like packaging jobs I've ever received and make like a video just on that. That would be awesome. Okay, all of that. Okay, well, it's a cool card. It doesn't make sense why I put like all of these baseball cards in there, but Conor McGregor, this is from Museum. This is a pretty early one. This is 2015 Museum. So it's an authentic significant swatches triple relic card. So it's from UFC. Oh, Knockout. Okay, Museum Collection. Interesting. I wonder if that was, I wonder if this predates the actual brand Museum. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I don't know the lineage of Museum that well to be able to say yes or no, but cool cool card, number to 25, so it's number 21, so you got 3 relics there. I don't think these are from like a specific fight or anything. Yeah, do not come from a specific match or fight. But anyway, regardless, early Conor McGregor, I think his very first card was 2014. So this would be like, you know, the second year, quote unquote, of his, you know, card. So, yeah, just cool. You know, it wasn't super crazy expensive. I just, you know, like collecting some of this earlier UFC stuff from my collection. All right. This mess, but we'll stick that over there for now. Deal with it later. All right, let's open this guy up. Hopefully we'll have a better, smoother opening process. All right, looks like a graded card based on the size. Painter's tape, thank you very much. And there we go. All right, cool. So just a nice Julio Rodriguez PSA 9 Bowman Chrome, the Mega Box Mojo. So, you know, kind of his basic parallel that you can get right now. Probably lowest in parallel, but grabbing these right now for a fairly cheap price, I think is the move, just because, you know, with him getting potentially called up next year, you can imagine it's going to do good. So, awesome card. All right. Start here. Let's see what we got. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Cool, got a slab. All right, cool. So this is just a nice pink Hyper jaw. Been picking up jaw pretty aggressively, as you'll probably see here in some of these packages. This is a really nice one. I know this is kind of like the lower end of all of his sort of parallels, but look at the subgrades. Pretty solid, you know. 10 centering, which is super hard for any optic card, and then all 9 5s after that. So I thought this is like a nice copy of this. I think this will be you know, again, not like the you know, high-end sort of premium parallel stuff, but, you know, again, it's a color jaw rookie card optic. I think it's, you know, it's gonna have a lot of appeal. So yeah, cool card. Have that. That's the thing too, guys. I know like a lot of people, you know, will comp the hell out of everything, especially when you're dealing and stuff. They're like, oh, well, this, you know, 9.5 pink optics sold for blah. But, you know, especially with BGS, guys, you got to consider subgrades, because a lot of times people will just look at 9.5 as just kind of like a general, you know, kind of rule of thumb of like the comps. And I'm like, well, you know, there's a big difference between, you know, a True Gem Plus, you know, and then just a regular, you know, Gem Mint. So just one of those things where you got to just always be aware of the comps that people are putting in front of you, and making sure that, you know, it's really apples to apples, and it's not it's different with, like with PSA, because you can kind of consider it, you know, a PSA 9 is a PSA 9, right? For the most part. I mean, sometimes there are some 9s that look better than other 9s, but for the most part, you can usually just kind of use that as a straight comp. But BGS is the one where you got to be a lot more considerate of subgrades. Sometimes with lack of subgrades, if they didn't add subgrades to the to the grading, then that also detracts quite a bit from the value. So a 9.5 without subgrades would be even less than a 9.5 with. So you get it. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, that one took a minute. I can see right through here. This is a Russell Topps Chrome. Just a base, I believe I got here. I like having these kind of just to either grade or just to sell raw, because they're usually a pretty good flip. For the most part, people like to get them graded because they come back pretty frequently with at least a 9, as long as it's not scratched to hell. But yeah, this one looked really nicely centered, top to bottom, left to right. I think we're all good with intolerances. So now it's just going to come down to the surface. Corners look pretty decent, and making sure the surface is good. So yeah, just a nice pickup. These are pretty easy to find in decent condition still. I don't think a lot of people graded those back in the day, so there's still quite a few floating around that are somewhat respectable condition. So it's a nice pickup if you want to get into rust fairly cheap and still have the ability to grade it and make a decent return if you're selling it. But that is another story. All right, this feels like a slab of sorts. We're gonna try going in here. Okay, cool. It's inside cardboard. Nice packaging job. A+. Cool. All right. Oh, cool. This came in. I was hoping this would be here before the show this weekend. 'Cause I know football. I mean, I'm being crushed on football every time I do a show. None of my football seems to stay in stock. So this is a really beautiful Dak green Prism rookie. This is a PSA 9, but I liked it because it was the lower pop, a green parallel. This is just a kind of an unnumbered sort of low end parallel, but again, nice to have any color of any of these cards versus just the base card. I did sell my base copy, silver they call it, but of course that's the base. But the I sold that I think after either right before week 1 or right after week 1. Anyways, I think it was before, but got a pretty good premium for it. So I think Dak has proven himself as being pretty solid like usual. So I don't think there's too much of a worry of that fluctuating down, unless he gets hurt. Of course, that could always happen. But God, poor guy, he deserves a healthy season this year. All right, green's the trend. So again, I blew through all my DK in a big trade I did a couple weeks back. So I wanted to kind of restock some DK just to have available for people. This one's actually really cool. This is the green scope, I believe it's called. Not numbered or anything like that, but just a nice cool card that I think a lot of people like, because it is has a little bit of a color match with the green in the jersey. So really just nice looking card. This one, I got to look at the condition. These are actually pretty rare. From what I've heard, they don't actually make a ton of the green scopes. They're kind of one of those rare sort of unnumbered cards that you just don't really know exactly how many, but according to a lot of people, there's not too many that get produced. So I'm going to look into it a little bit, sort of do a little research on pop reports, and then look on Cardboard Connection to see if there's any information on green scopes as far as the rarity of them. But anyways, just a nice looking DK. Just want to have some more because I am low on him right now. That one guy, I swear, I think he bought 5 of my nice DKs. So that was, more or less the majority of my stuff that I had available for sale. I do have a few more that I don't sell that are personal, but I like to have a lot of DK available for, obviously all the homers out here in Seattle. We need our DK fix. There's one guy has a table here that literally every card is DK. It's pretty impressive, actually. He's got so many DKs. I'm just like, holy crap. All right. So this one I'm really excited about. Again, picking up a lot of Jaw right now. I'm really bullish on him. I think, him, Trey, Zion, of course Luka. That's a no-brainer. But like those guys, the new kind of face of the NBA are gonna make big waves this season. Hopefully Memphis gets a good team so we can see Ja do some damage in the playoffs like Trey did this year. But this is a beautiful card. So this I got from a ComC auction that was on eBay. This is a BGS 9, but it's the red, the true red. So a nice numbered parallel right there to 99. So it's 99 of 99 if people care about bookmarks. or bookends, not bookmarks. But Isaac is a sick card. I mean, it looks really good. Really, your only kind of spot that you miss is centering by half a point. You would have got a gem mint, just half a point shy of gem mint, because the centering got a 9. So if that centering would have been, well, obviously if it would have been a 9.5, that would have worked. But the surface, maybe that would have been a 9.5, then it would have gotten a gem mint. But centering definitely is off top to bottom. But I do put more emphasis on left to right, just because I think that's where people's eyes go naturally when they're looking at cards, is left to right. So if that one, if it's really far off, I think the eye appeal is far less than it is if it's top to bottom, because a lot of times top to bottom is, you know, not really even anyways, depending on the card. But so anyways, long story short is good looking card, awesome numbered jaw to 99. Yeah, real excited to have this. All right, let's do the pink one. In every color bubble mailer, I think now. There are all the colors in the rainbow. Oh, it's like a little wedding invitation here. Okay. Is it a wedding invitation? That would have been a fun mistake here. No, it's just a raw card in a soft sleeve without much protection. Oh Lord. Well, this is it's kind of a random Brady that popped up. It's from Absolute. So it's kind of a weird thing. So early in the 2000s, Absolute was actually like a sub brand of Playoff, which was its own brand later on, and then there was Absolute Memorabilia also. Anyways, it's a little confusing, but regardless, so 2004 Brady, so early Brady stuff. And like it, you know, Absolute is still around, so it's not like it's an obsolete brand or anything like that. So nice shiny card, you know, people love that. And then the good part is it's numbered, so you can kind of see it there. Again, high numbers, not like it's a super short print or anything like that, but still numbered card, Brady, early. It's kind of my, you know, my big check marks, right, for the Brady market. But I you know, getting these for still fairly cheap. I think everyone's already kind of, you know, completely just taken over the like Topps chrome refractor sort of market that's already blowing up, so you're not going to find those cheap anymore. So kind of moving on to the next things, which is a little bit of the more you know, secondary brands that still are you know, still recognizable, still carry, you know, some name recognition, and weren't just like one-off, you know, products. But you know, look for those earlier cards of him. If you can find anything numbered, that's always the key. So yeah, that's kind of my angle right now. Still want to collect Brady, I just don't want to pay those current prices because they are not cheap. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll be able to open it here. There we go. So this is like the eBay plain white envelope, which is kind of nice. So this is the one they charge like $1 to ship, which is great. I don't even know where to get those because it actually has the, oh, it's on the sticker, or on the label for the postage. It says plain white envelope, so it means you got it. That's a good deal. $1 to ship anything. It's nice too because then you can kind of keep the price down, especially if it's like a cheaper card. You don't want to charge like $5 shipping for like a $6 card. It's kind of stupid. All right, let's see. Hello, anybody in there? At least this one's in the top loader. All right, sort of. It's got a lot of eBay swag there. There it is. Very cool. So just saw this for super cheap, and I was just like, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer for me, especially out here in Washington, where Mighty Mouse is local. So I did have a gold, Topps Chrome Gold from the same year. I think it was 2017. Yeah, I believe so, or it might have been 18. But anyways, I ended up selling that at the show a couple weeks back, and then I saw this pop up for dirt cheap, and I was just like, man, what a deal. I mean, again, you just gotta remember, like, these Topps Chrome cards are so great because they're all on-card autos, just beautiful. Nothing was like overprinted in these years because UFC was, you know, not, you know, as popular as it is now. So it's like you can still get these cards for a really good price if you know what you're doing. But just, I mean, again, everyone's on, you know, all high on Prism and Select and all that stuff, but go back to Topps Chrome, man. It's only a few years ago. It wasn't like, you know, you're not going back 10 years or anything. So you get a lot of the same fighters are in those sets too, like, you know, Khabib and, you know, Ngannou and like all the same stars that are out today, you know, McGregor and everyone. But, you know, they're personally, I think, better cards that are less printed and they have on-card autos and not a bunch of sticker autos, you know. It's like, anyways, it makes sense to me, but people do what they do. So anyways, nice little just base one. This isn't like numbering anything, so this is a base auto Mighty Mouse. All right. Cool. Well, I'm glad I got more Zions in because, man, I can't keep Zion in stock right now. Everyone's picking up Zion, which is smart. I've been picking up for a while too, so don't blame you. So I like these blues. They're just clean, they're cheap, they're easy to move. You know, I love to have these at shows and stuff because it's just, you know, a nice, easy kind of sell. You know, I'm not gonna like mark it up like crazy, maybe get like a 15% markup just to make, you know, a little bit of money on it. But yeah, I just, you know, been grabbing these kind of you know, kind of lower end parallels for Zion, you know. And again, I think it's a nice move. People love the color, they like to see it, and then you can sell them fairly easily, and there's tons of comps, so it's like, you know, it's not hard to price these out either. Those are great cards. All right, that's a wrap. Pretty big mailbag to go through, but I hope you enjoyed seeing some of those cards. I liked a lot of those pickups, and again, I hope, you know, you glean some information there to help you, you know, collect some things maybe you haven't thought of, or to look into certain things that might be good investments for later. But again, these are my personal choices. I don't ever assume, you know, anyone is taking me at, you know, for financial advice, because I'm definitely not a financial advisor, but I do like to share sort of my insights and my thoughts into certain cards. All right, guys, well, that is everything for now. Again, if you've yet to subscribe, it'd be awesome if you could do that. And then, hey, if you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Okay, well, that is it for now, and we will see you on another video real soon. And until then, peace.